Hello everyone, welcome to Dubai Autodrome for this race number 2, round 5 of the Clio Cup Middle East. In a little bit blustery conditions here, I might say, at Dubai Autodrome compared to when we raced yesterday in race number 1. A little bit of wind picked up overnight, putting a little layer of dust on the circuit. Going to be a bit challenging for the 12 cars that are going to take to the grid for this 25-minute plus 1 lap race in this one make series. Clio Cup series around the world, known for its close racing. We saw that in spades yesterday. But unfortunately, yesterday ended under a red flag due to a crash down on the exit of turn number 10. Cars 27 and 71 involved and 28 involved in that. And with that, the 71 was handed a 5-place grid penalty for the start today. But unfortunately, Avik Anwar in the 71, not feeling the best this morning, got a sore back, and he won't be taking part in this one. Either will Alex Renner. He did an engine yesterday, and Connor Younger had a gearbox issue, so there will be non-starters for that. But we have 12 cars out there, which will be great racing, but it's going to be a challenging race for all the drivers out there today because of the tricky windy conditions, and these cars get buffeted around by the wind. You've got to use the slipstreaming, especially on the 2 very long straights here. We're on the full Grand Prix circuit here at Dubai Autodrome, 3.9 kilometres long, 16 corners, 7 to the left, 9 to the right. And some elevation changes making it quite tricky. The cars just competing their out laps at the moment, and the pit lane has closed, and they are making their way around to form up on the grid. Looking at the Apex Garden there, turn 15, very, very great, a nice place to watch the race. And we are, of course, here in support of the 19th running of the Dubai 24 Hours, the Middle East Trophy powered by Hankook. Round 3 of that coming your way later today, starting at 1 p.m, finishing 1 p.m. tomorrow. And looking at the Autodrome cars, the BMWs in abundance here as our safety car vehicles. And 25 degrees out there at the moment, humidity around 50%, but it's that wind that is blowing from behind the grandstand across the track. You can see the flags in the Apex Garden and the trees around the circuit. A lot of work has been done at this circuit in the last 18 months. And really made some great changes. A lot more greenery, a lot less dust. We used to get a lot of problems with the dust blowing across the circuit. Well, there's so much building going on here in Motor City that a lot of that vacant area has now been built on, and it minimises the dust. But this dust is actually blown in from the desert, which is behind the grandstand. And it's going to make it tricky for everybody out there, all of our corner marshals, everybody out on the circuit. And we once again say thank you very much for all of the staff that take time to come and support motorsport in various official designations, because without you, we can't go racing. So everybody and all the teams, very grateful for our Orange Army out there manning the corners as we're just getting all of the safety vehicles in place. Eduardo Miranda looking at his car at the moment, currently leading the championship. Coming into yesterday, it was 108 points. He led the championship from Ilya Sidorov. And then it was a fantastic battle that he had yesterday as well with Stanislav Novikov. That was just an awesome battle. They were battling right up until that red flag. They'd changed leads a few times, but fantastic to see battling up the front. Some brilliant overtaking manoeuvres. I mean, seriously, great manoeuvres. That's the 88, Ilya Sidorov, currently running second in the championship as they came into yesterday's round, 82 points. Running in the overall standings. We have the overall standings. We have the as well as the gentlemen's and challengers standings. So everything has been split up according to your skill level as we make our way down the grid. It's the 55 of Yusuf Gaber. He was involved in a really titanic battle with about 6 or 7 other cars yesterday. One make series, always exciting. All the same power in these Evolution 5 Clio Cup cars. Turbocharged engine, 5-speed sequential gearbox, very stiff chassis. These are purpose-built road race cars from Renault Sport. They've never been road cars. And there's Ivan Tverdbalev in the 49. Started from the back of the grid yesterday, worked his way up through to finish well inside the top 10. Had some great battles, was still attacking when we went safety car, then red. 32 of Alexander Tchachava. He was also involved in that battle. Well, we had a battle of about 9 cars, to be perfectly honest. And that's in the Rumos racing car. There's car number 64, Ahmed Al-Malhi. Just getting the focus on at the moment. It's on the eyes on the track. The start's so important for these cars. Moving down to the 8, Rahel Taneja. Hasn't been feeling all that well this weekend, but he can race and give us a thumbs up and a wave. Thanks, Rahel. Immaculately turned out cars. There's the 100 of Steve Laidlaw, running in the Gentleman's Cup. Running out of the TTR Racing Stables. Busy weekend for TTR this weekend. Running in a few categories. Running in the 24-hour series, but they also support all the local radical racing. And there is the 27 of James Greenwood. He was involved in that incident yesterday. Had a chat with him this morning. He was telling me that, yep, the car's all straight. He's ready to go. There's Sam Laidlaw. He is running in the Challenger category. And the 12th on the grid, Charlotte Simmons. Bit of panel damage on the other side as Dad John just gets out of the way. Go Charlie, go Charlie. I'm gonna laugh in there. Yeah, body damage on that car. Went out this morning. Dad gives her a kiss. She be right, John. He's filling in for Phil Quaife, who is normally Charlotte's coach. Phil off on his honeymoon down in South America. But I think he'll be watching this to see how his protege gets on. As the grid is going to be cleared. Standing start for these cars. Start is all important. James Greenwood got a very good start yesterday, made up a few positions off the start and was able to hold those. But then got out on the marbles, and he said it just took so much time because remember they were out after a very busy qualifying session for the 24-hour cars, and the marbles are all the rubber that comes off the tyres so that you can get down to the fresh rubber underneath. But once he got onto those marbles, it's like driving on sponges, seriously, and he just had no grip at the front end. And then these are front-wheel drive cars. You'll see them three-wheeling through the corners. You'll see that inside wheel lock up because it's literally going to be in the air around a lot of these corners. And we see a lot of two-wheel action as well. 3-minute board is out, clearing the grid of all the support personnel. And let's go through the grid as we have it. Eduardo Miranda is going to be starting on pole. Stanislav Novikov is in second position. Ilya Sidorov will start from third. Yusuf Gaber in fourth. Ivan Dolobov in fifth position. Alexander Tchachava in sixth. Ahmed Al-Malahi in seventh. Rahel Taneja in eighth. Steve Laidlaw in ninth. James Greenwood in 10th. Sam Laidlaw in 11th. And Charlotte Simmons will start in 12th position. As you can see there from the shot down on the grandstand. Staggered start. The timing boards are coming out. We just have the track marshals there to make sure that everybody gets away cleanly. And we'll follow them around on this warm-up lap, and there you can see that wind blowing across the circuit. They'll come out of the shadow of the grandstand, and you'll see these cars move from left to right towards the pit wall as they get hammered by this quite strong wind at the moment. Just checking on how windy it is around here. (15 to 20 kilometres an hour wind coming in from the east, and you can see that in the background of the shot. That quite hazy today. We can't even see Burj Al Arab down on the coast. Probably around 2 kilometres of visibility, but that's about all. All our marshals now vacate the start grid. Once again, thank you to all the teams. They've got a busy 24 hours or 26 hours now coming up in front of them. And it's great to have the Clio Cup Middle East supporting the 24 Hours of Dubai this weekend. Thank you to GPX Racing, Fred Fatian and the team who put this championship on. If you don't know about GPX Racing, have a look out on the internet. They run the Dubai Classic that is here, as well as many series around the planet. Just waiting for the green flag. They'll put and they'll drop the clutch, lay some rubber down in their pit box. There we go. This isn't the race start. This is just the warm-up lap. The race starts will be done with the red lights. Charlie Simmons and Sam Laidlaw make their way down, and there you can see the train that we will no doubt have on the first couple of laps. Making their way down towards turn 1. Now this is downhill. Cars will turn around to the right. This is the first of the hard braking zones. It's a good opportunity to make up some positions, and it's a great opportunity to lose positions. Now they flick left into turn 2 to start the run up in the hill to the 3-4 combination, double left-hander. You can see, oh, we got the 101 has stopped out on the circuit. Or is that yeah, that's Sam Laidlaw. He has stopped on the exit of pit lane. It looks like he's pulled over. Hazard lights are on. He has an issue with that car. Can't get it mobile. We're going to try and just get that car back into pit lane as fast as we can. Recovery vehicle right there on site. We might have a little bit of a delayed start here. Cars making their way down the back straight now. They're going to push this car back into pit lane. Great work from our pit marshals. There's no pit stops in these, so the pits are literally closed at the moment as the car's weaving down the back straight now. So 101 with that issue. We'll try and find out what that is, but that will leave 11th place on the grid vacant. As we're now getting that car out of harm's way. Cars making their way up towards turn 12 now, the highest point on the circuit. Uphill entry, downhill exit. And Steve Laidlaw making his way up to turn 12. Cars get very light there. We've had 3 wide there yesterday. Now they're making the run down from turn 12, all downhill through the sweeper here at turn 13. And Steve Laidlaw's car has been brought to safety, removing the emergency vehicle from the circuit. Now they're making their way around turn 14 up the hill to 15, the right-hander. It's easy to run wide out of there and get over the really bumpy ripple strips, and now you see them coming down to the final corner. It's a downhill braking zone into turn 16. Easy to get it wrong through here and push out wide. Then you hit those ripple strips on the outside and take all your power away. As the car's now heading down to form up on the grid. It'll be Miranda on pole position, Novikov second, Sidorov third, Gaber fourth, Dolobov in fifth, Tachava sixth, Almalai seventh, Tanija in eighth, Steve Laidlaw in the pits, empty ninth, Greenwood in 10th, Sam Laidlaw in 11th, Charlie Simmons in 12th. As we pull up into position, now they can't take that position number 9 because that is the one that Steve Laidlaw would have been in. Green flag, 2 lights on, 3 lights on, 4 lights on. Revs are up on bouncing off the limiter. 25 minutes to go and we are racing here. Race number 2, round 5 of the Clio Cup. Everybody moves across to the driver's left to get on where all the rubber has been laid down. You can see all the dust blowing up as we are 4 wide heading down into turn 1. Looks like Eduardo Miranda got a very good start, but Novikov coming under pressure from Sidorov as they head around turn number. Oh, there's a contact there between the 10 and the 69, the 49 possibly. Oh, and a little bit of a shortcut there. Very dusty out there at the moment. The cars will be sliding all over the place on these Michelin Spec Clio Cup tyres, making their way down into turn 4 and 5. And then around the right-hander at 6, hard on the brake into turn number 7. 3-wheeling there through Eduardo Miranda, as he's absolutely streeted the field off the start line, and then very heavy defensive driving going on behind him. And that's just going to allow Miranda just to close up a bit. I saw Charlie Simmons getting up on the inside of James Greenwood down at turn 9, and it looks like she's made that move stick. 27 and 28 respectively. Now it's that long run down the straight, and it's Novikov has held that second position, but he is under immense pressure at the moment. The 32 goes narrow down the inside of the 55, and that's a great start from Chachava on Gaber. More positions changing as they make their way around turn 11. Now the 55 has to go defensive. He's left the inside door open. He has for the 32, and that's Chachava up the inside of Gaber. Now they've got the run down. The next corner is a left-hander, the 49 in close pursuit. Dolobov is there as well. Now into the braking zone at turn 14. A little bit of contact there. Side-by-side racing through 14 with these Clio Cup cars. There's about 5 lines around here because the track's about 5 cars wide. Side-by-side on the run out of 15. Still side-by-side coming down into 16. And it's the 88 of Sidorov who's kept that position. Joseph Gaber has moved up. Chachava's moved up into 4th. Sidorov down to 5th. Dolobov in 6th position, Laidlaw up into 7th, Tanija in 8th, Ahmed Almali in 9th, Charlotte Simmons up into 10th, and James Greenwood in 11th. We're 4 wide down into turn 1. That's Novikov, Gaber, Chachava and Sidorov. Oh, there's contact there. Very well held by the 49. That's Dolobov. Was almost knocked into a spin, but he managed to keep that up. He just buried the foot in the throttle. That's the best thing to do in these front-wheel drive cars when they get a little bit sideways. So it's the 32 leading the 49 at the moment. Sidorov has gone behind this battle. But 2.3 seconds, Eduardo Miranda out over Novikov at the moment, and he's got his hands full with Joseph Gaber and Alexander Chachava. They are all over the back of him at the moment. Oh, he runs very wide out of the turn 9 onto the back straight. He's got to compromise his speed down there. He didn't need to do that. That's Shachava and Sidorov having the battle back there. And here we go. That's the Sidorov out underneath. He's hit him. He's absolutely T-boned the 32. That's Sidorov into Shachava. And that's Shachava straight in there into turn number 9. He's parked sideways across the circuit. There's more contact happening with the 88 and the 49 as well. That's Sidorov and Tverdolobov. This is Clio Cup racing, folks. They've all got the same power, they've all got the same tyres, and they all want the same piece of track. And that just simply doesn't happen. We'll keep an eye out whether the car can get moving again. Yes, the 32 is back in action. Just local yellow. Now we're down into turn 14. We've still got 20 minutes to go. Well, time to take a breath. As we head, no manoeuvres happening down into 16. We'll give you all of the places before when they get across the line, because I think there'll be attacks coming in down into turn 1. And there we go. Miranda, Novikov, Gaber, Tverdolobov, Laidlaw has made up a position over Sidorov, Malahi, Simmons, Greenwood, Tanija and Shachava down at the back after that half spin down at turn 9. Let's have a look at this incident again down in turn 9. It's a big throw down the inside. It's dirty down there. There's not a lot of brake happening. And then the 32 just turns in across. Well, he's got to turn the corner. That's the problem. He has to be able to turn the corner. He can't keep going straight. So we'll leave that one into the hands of the stewards, because that's what the stewards are for. So the 49, Tverdolobov, had to start from the back of the grid yesterday, has moved up considerably through the field, but the position's changing ad hoc on lap by lap, trying to get cars trying to get into position for the slipstream down the back straight. Our leader, Eduardo Miranda, 2.2 seconds to the better of Stanislav Novikov, and then Novikov is also 2.2 seconds over Gaber, and then it's 4 seconds back to Tverdolobov, but then the battle behind him all the way down to 10th position, all nose to tail, as they make their way out of turn number 10 and up 11, then up the hill, overtaking opportunity up the inside. The 28s get racing on the 64. That's Charlie Simmons on Ahmed Al-Malahi. Simmons started at the back of the field, already up into 8th position. As they stream down through turn 13. 2:24.714, best lap so far from Eduardo Miranda, leading the championship at the moment in the challenger category and overall. All it takes is a slight misgear, a little bit getting too aggressive under brakes, and you'll come under attack from behind as the cars come down through 16. Laidlaw, Sidorov, Malahi, Simmons, they all go across the line. Amazingly enough, we didn't get any positional changes on that lap. Unfortunately, Alexander Shachava, after that spin from that collision down at turn 9, has dropped way back, but still continuing on. But this is where the race is, from 4th position back to 10th position. 6-car battle. Tverdolobov, Laidlaw, Sidorov, Al-Malahi, Simmons, Greenwood, and Rahil Tanija just dropping off the back of that battle down there in 10th position. You can see him coming through in the white car just behind the 27 of James Greenwood. Charlie Simmons in 8th position, still attacking on the back of the 64 of Ahmed Al-Malahi. She's in the H&R car as they come around turn number 9. You can see the variety of lines there. Easy to run wide, easy to try to take a little bit too much tarmac. 49 and the 100. Just starting to get away from that. That's Turdolobov and Laidlaw just starting to get a little bit of a gap as defensive driving from the 64. That's Ahmed Al-Malai. He knows Charlie Simmons is going to be right there, but it's a 28 of Charlie Simmons up the inside. He tries that move on the 88, and I think that move may have been done. Now it's Stanislav Novikov. He did this yesterday, now with the fastest lap. The 27 on the 88 as well. Sidorov's going backwards here. James Greenwood up the inside. He was involved in that incident yesterday down at the exit of turn number 10. Don't think he's got the run down into turn 14, but is he going to throw it under brakes? No, he's going to stay off it. In. Dropping. As it Russell. No. In the with Wood. They make their way down into turn 6. It's an opportunity to try turn 7, but Greenwood has that covered nicely. Gets a good drive out of 7. Charlotte Simmons now out in pursuit of Ahmed Al-Malai. He lost a little bit of ground in all the overtaking that she's been doing. Started down in 12th position, already up to 7th. She had a 6th finish in race 2 down at Yas Marina Circuit last weekend. Let's see if she can get up and repeat that or go one better with her dad coaching. And it'll be the coach battle between him and Phil Quaife that will have to settle at the final round coming up in the not too distant future down at Yas Marina Circuit to wrap up this 23-24 season for the Clio Cup Middle East. And James Greenwood just still having that great battle with the 88. Sidorov Rahil Tunisia trying to close up on it. There's the 28. Charlotte Simmons closing that gap down on Ahmed Al-Malai. Not an easy man to pass at the any time. They make their way through 13. Now down into 15. Now we're seeing the rear brake starting to lock up as that left-hand inside wheel gets light. And Ahmed Al-Malai now starting to close up on the back of Laidlaw and Turdolobov. So this battle's starting to come together now. This is a battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, making their way down to the final corner. Around about 12.5 minutes to go. So almost a half race distance plus 1 lap. The train now forming as they make their way down to turn 1. That's Turdolobov in the lead. And Al-Malai having a look up the inside of Laidlaw into turn 1. Two. Yeah. Too long ago. That's Steve Laidlaw and Ahmed Al-Malai here having that battle. Turdolobov just He's got over this battle. But is this battle going on between the 100 and the 64? So you're going to have a look up the inside down into 14. Oh, the 100 of Laidlaw just runs a little bit deep into there, just locking up that inside rear left wheel as he three wheels around turn 14. Al-Malahi's got a good run out of the final corner. He's going to try something down into 14. Thinks better of it, but it's the wrong line through 14. He's going to compromise his exit. His exit speed will be down a little bit. We can see that there is debris on the back of that's Terdelabov's car. Remember, he got a tap from behind early on in the race. A little bit of debris, that back little diffuser area looks like it's flapping. That's on the 49 car. Looks like a change for position, possibly back down with the 88. We'll keep an eye on that one. That could have been Rahil Taneja and Ilya Sidorov having that battle a little bit further back. Yeah, you can see that back diffuser has been, but it's just a plastic part, but you know, it could be susceptible to the meatball flag, the black and orange mechanical flag, which means you have to come in and get it fixed. The incident between car 88 and 32 at turn 10 has been reported to the stewards, will be investigated after the race. And Eduardo Miranda did what he did yesterday. He went slower in the second half of the race. Stanislav Novikov went quicker in the second half of the race, and that gap now between the leaders, just 0.9 of a second. Remember, about 4 laps ago, it was around about 2 seconds. So Novikov now starting to come back at Miranda. The back for the lead, they got 6.9 seconds over Josef Gaber, who's 5.8 seconds in front of Terdelabov. Who's got this battle behind him. Laidlaw, Al-Malahi, Simmons, and James Greenwood just falling off the back of that battle. Sidorov and Taneja still having a great battle back down there in 9th and 10th. Here's the leaders, 5 and the 10. Nose to tail out through 15. Heading down towards turn 16. We've got 8 minutes left on the clock. And it seems to be Stanislav Novikov being able to look after his tyres a little bit better. Just manage the car in the first half of the race. He's got the fastest first sector and sector 2. He's also got the fastest lap of the race, 2:24.116. Now he's in the slipstream of Eduardo Miranda, heading down into turn 1. He's got 7 minutes 45 seconds plus a... We'll keep an eye on this, as they are nose to tail as they move down. There's the 49 and the 100 still having that great battle to Elvo and Laidlaw, with Ahmed Al-Malahi in close company. Charlotte Simmons dropping back from this battle now, 1.6 seconds behind. James Greenwood in 8th. Rahil Taneja has got past Ilya Sidorov on that lap and now into 9th, and Sidorov in 10th. After that spin earlier on from that contact, which will be reported after weight to the 32 and the 88 of Sidorov. They're going to have a little chat with the stewards. The 5 and the 10. Miranda, Novikov heading down towards turn number 10. This is the hardest braking zone on the circuit. He's going to throw it up the inside. The 10's up the inside of the 5. And they keep off each other. They had great racing yesterday. Who's going to have the inside line in 11? It's Miranda with the inside line, but the 10 now has got through. He's got the inside line up into turn number 12, and that's a change of the lead. The first change of the lead, and a great move from Novikov. We saw him do this yesterday as well. Very clean racing between Miranda and Novikov. And now Miranda's got 6 minutes to try and work out, what can I do about it? Do I have any tyres left? He really left the field in the first half of this race, but it's come back to him now. These guys have got 9 seconds over Josef Gaber. He's having a pretty lonely race out of there in the 55. So make their way out of turn 15 down to 16. Oh, I can hear the wheels locking up there. They're both on maximum braking. Michelin tyres, the boot lid on the hatch seems to be loose on Miranda's car. Has he got an answer for him down into turn 1? It's Novikov from Miranda, separated by about, ooh, not very much. You can see it right there. Novikov knows how to make these Clios as wide as about half the track. But here we go, 3 wide down into turn 1. It's the 4 on the inside. It's the 100 on the outside. This is getting exciting as they make their way up around 3. It's the 100, the 64, sorry. And that is a good move there. The 49 is Tverdelobov has been dropped down behind these two. Was there any more damage that he got in that collision? That well, he got tagged on the rear end down in turn 1 early on in the race. The 10 and the 5 still having their battle out there. But Steve Laidlaw has moved up into 4th position. Tverdelobov in 5th. Al-Malahi in 6th position. That's still going on. The 10 now going very defensive down into turn 9, picking up a whole heap of rubbish on his tyres. He doesn't want that and try and accelerate as Eduardo Miranda just stays on the racing line, keeps his tyres clean, but does he have enough grip in the Michelins to get to the end of the race? 4 minutes to go, plus 1 lap. Heading up towards turn number 10. So turn 12, car 10, car 5. They're on their 9th lap. Timed race plus 1. Making their way down through the flat out sweeper at turn 13, downhill, and then into this hard braking zone. The inside back wheel is actually stationary on Miranda's car. You can see it not rotating at all. Is he going to? Oh, he had to think about going up the inside of Novikov into 14. Novikov had good drive going up the hill, down into the final corner. Brakes chirping. No. 2 minutes 45 on the clock. You can see the car's 3-wheel bouncing through turn 4 and through 5 into 6 now, really leading on that left-hand front as they 3-wheel it through turn number 7. Now it's the time for the left-hand rear wheel to have a break, because they're going through the double left-hander at 8 and 9. And it seems that Novikov's got the grip through these sectors, as he's pulled out a couple of car lengths over Miranda as they make their way down the very long back straight. You can see them come up the hill now into the braking zone. There's Yusuf Gaber having a very lonely race out there. Stayed out of all the trouble. There's the battle pack behind him. That's Steve Laidlaw, Ivan Tverdelobov, Ahmed Al-Malahi and Charlotte Simmons. With James Greenwood just behind. The 49 goes out wide. The 100 covers his ground. Tverdelobov on the outside. Laidlaw on the inside. But that's allowed Ahmed Al-Malahi to get right up behind both of them as they head up towards turn 12. Inside line is the one you want up here. Nose to tail. Oh, it's Ahmed Al-Malahi up the inside, the 64 on the inside. He actually lifted there. He knew he was going to contact the 49 of Tverdelobov, so he actually lifted out of that. Now he's going to come under pressure from Charlotte Simmons, because she was right behind him. Simmons right up on the back through 13. He's going to have to go defensive down into 14, and he does. That takes the inside line, but he runs very deep into there. Charlie Simmons follows him through. Still the battle going on for this one. To Vidalabov and Laidlaw as they come down towards turn 16. This one's going to go all the way to the end. The 10 and the 5 are still nose to tail as they come down to turn 1. Oh, there was nothing between those two. Then they run up the hill, turn 2. Now the 3-4 complex, the double left-hander. This is where the cars get really light. And here's the run down here. The 49 throws it down the inside. Back end just moves around. The 100 goes back up the inside and says, thank you very much. I'll have all of that. Great over-under move. Tavdello just went a little bit too deep under the braking, and it just left the door open. And the Clio door, according to that, was about half a metre wide, but that's all he needed to get back up the inside. And that's Ahmed Al-Malahi, a really close watching brief on that one. But he's also got one eye in the mirror because Charlie Simmons is right behind him. James Greenwood just dropping off the back of this. There you can see the two wheeling in these Clios as they go through the combination there. And just flick those wheels up in the air, both wheels off the ground. The 10 going as defensive as you can down into turn number 9. Wow. But he's got some rubbish on his tyres now. Eduardo Miranda trying to make that move stick. He just can't find a way through at the moment as Stanislav Novikov really, really driving well. Battle continues on down in turn 9. So Dolabov, Al-Malahi, Laidlaw in there as well. Bit of movement happening out of turn 11. And it's still Laidlaw over to Vidalabov, Ahmed Al-Malahi, Charlotte Simmons. So they make their way now down towards the next opportunity, which is turn number 14, to do something. And it looks like Laidlaw's gone a little defensive down there. Leaders now down into the final corner, turn number 16. Last lap board now being shown. Last lap board being shown. He's got 5.39 kilometres and 16 corners. What can Eduardo Miranda do? A gap coming across the line, 0.4 of a second. Has Stanislav Novikov got enough in the tyres to hold Miranda off? He's our current championship leader coming into yesterday's race. So make their way now down through turn 2. A little kink there. And a double right at 3-4. Cars get very light through here. So Dolabov having a look again at Laidlaw. Can't make there anything happen in turn number 1. Gets good drive out of there too, as well. Ahmed Al-Malahi and Charlie Simmons. Still, Simmons dropping back off this battle. James Greenwood is still within attacking range. Has he got anything left? We've got a few more opportunities. Well, any corner is actually an opportunity for a Clio overtake, as we've clearly seen this weekend. Joseph Gaber have it running a very sensible race out there to stay out of trouble. Up on 3rd position. He's 4 seconds ahead of this battle. Here's our lead battle coming down to turn number 10 for the final time. Got about half a lap to go and multiple opportunities. But Miranda just can't get close enough to the back of Novikov at the moment as they make their way up the hill. And Novikov has looked after his tyres, made everything stick. The 100 and the 49 having the battle. The 64 has a look up the inside. Malawi looking up the inside of Dolabov. Car 5 is getting a penalty for exceeding track limits repeatedly. Wow. That's our second place, Eduardo Miranda. Now, they are 13 seconds ahead of this battle, so he'll keep second place. Charlotte Simmons right up on the back of the 64 now of Ahmed Al-Malahi. As the battle pack heads down through 13 for the final time. Ahmed Al-Malahi goes very defensive. So Vidalabov locking up, but here comes the race leader. Checkered flag at the ready, and it's Stanislav Novikov taking the lead from Eduardo Miranda. the battle pack heading down to the final corner. Can anybody do anything? I don't think so. I don't think so. Well done to Yusuf Gaber, finishing in third position. And then Laidlaw crosses the line in front of Tvdolobov, Ahmed Al-Malahi, Charlie Simmons in sixth. James Greenwood finishes in seventh position. Ranahil Taneja in, James Greenwood in eighth position. Rahul Taneja in ninth, just waiting for Alexander Chachava had come across the line. Remember, he had that spin earlier on. And the 88 coming across the line. Ilya Sidorov finishes in 11th position. Sam Laidlaw in the 101 had that issue and couldn't get around on the formation lap. Connor Younger with a gearbox issue. Avik Anwar with a bit of an injury from yesterday and went out in practice this morning, but said he wouldn't be able to last the race. And Alex Renault with an engine issue yesterday, but what a fantastic race again from the Clio Cups. Stanislav Novikov taking the win from Eduardo Miranda. And there's still a little bit of stewards work to do, the 88 and the 32, to have a little chat with the stewards afterwards regarding that incident down in turn number 10. And the 88 bringing Sidorov maybe picked up some damage in that incident with Alexander Chachava, but they both did finish the race. But great racing for the Clio Cup series, anywhere on the planet, but here in the UAE, the Clio Cup Middle East. As the cars will be heading back into the pits for their podium celebrations for the overall, the gentlemen's and the challengers. Eduardo Miranda has a 5-second penalty, but he's 14 seconds ahead of Yusuf Gaber in third place, so that won't affect the standings. That it was repeated track limits infringements. We've got to keep at least one part of the car between the white lines, as the car's now making their way down the pit lane, and they'll pull up under the podium here at Dubai Autodrome. And there's that number one, the Clio Cup Middle East. That's 2 from 2 this weekend for Stanislav Novikov. He won a race number 1 yesterday, and he's going to win a race number 2 today. Hopefully he doesn't do what he did yesterday and open his door and put a dent in the car next door. No, it gets all of that done. He's a happy camper this weekend, is Stanislav Novikov. Congratulations on your second win of the weekend. Team very, very happy with that. Running out of the Continental Racing stable here at the Autodrome. A little bit of a debrief going on with his race engineer, as always happens after a race. And then there's Eduardo Miranda. They had a fantastic race. Great camaraderie in the Clio Cup. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Eduardo just couldn't quite keep attack back in the second half of that race. He's going to have some work to do now, because he's Novikov was on 68 points coming into this weekend, and Eduardo Miranda was on 108, and that may have changed considerably. Stanislav Novikov was actually in third position in the championship. I think Ilya Sidorov was on 82 points in second position coming into the first race yesterday. So we'll see if that changes. And Yusuf Gaber, great race from Yusuf. He stayed out of trouble, got in front of where the battle was happening by at least 4 seconds, and just went around, basically had a track day. He went around on his own and got himself up onto the podium. Currently running 10th in the overall standings for the championship. Let's let's have a look at the provisional results. It's Stanislav Novikov from Continental Racing taking the win from Eduardo Miranda in Unique Racing in second position. Yusuf Gaber from Unique Racing in third. Steve Laidlaw in fourth for Track Time Racing. Ivan Dolobov in fifth position for Continental Racing. Ahmed Al-Malahi for Track Time Racing in sixth. Charlotte Simmons for EBCX Motorsport in seventh. James Greenwood for EBCX Motorsport in eighth position. Rahil Taneja for Track Time Racing in ninth. Alexander Chichava in 10th position from Rumos Racing. Ilya Sidorov in 11th position for Continental Racing. And then, unfortunately, Sam Laidlaw, Connor Younger, Avik Amo. Sam Laidlaw, unfortunately, didn't even make the start. Car had an issue on the formation lap. Connor Younger, with a gearbox issue, didn't start the race. And Avik Anwar also with an injury, couldn't start the race as well. But take nothing away from Stanislav Novikov. An absolutely perfect race. Bided his time, made sure that he had tyres left in the second half of the race, and then attacked Eduardo Miranda with around about 9 minutes to go and made the move stick, and Miranda had nothing. Coming up next, the Clio Cup Middle East with round number 6. Their final race of the 23-24 season down at the Yas Marina circuit on the 9th, 10th and 11th of February. You want to see some more Clio Cup racing? The last chance you're going to see it for this season, head down to Yas Marina circuit. It will be a fantastic weekend. We're going to leave you with the highlights of race 2, round 5 of the Clio Cup Middle East. I hope you've enjoyed today's racing. My name's Phil Anson, and we catch you next time when we go racing with Clio Cup Middle East. Bye for now.